Tonight for this video, I'll be doing all of my own stunts, so do not attempt any of these at home. Oh, my seat won't go back. Yeah, okay. Oh. Dangerous. G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. So tonight I caught the brand new film The Fall Guy. This stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt and is based on the 1980s TV show of the same name. What is this all about? Well, Gosling plays Colt. He is a stuntman who, after an accident on a set, is nearly left paralyzed and goes into a bit of a self-imposed exile. Now, Colt's career up until this point has been really doubling for Tom Ryder, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson, in all of his big action films. He's basically the go-to stunt guy. So after this self-imposed exile, he gets a phone call from a producer who says, you need to come back for this new film that Tom Ryder's doing. And it also just happens to be directed, a first-time director outing for your ex-flame that you're trying to get back with, Jodie, played by Emily Blunt. So, of course, Colt goes, all right, I'll give that a red-hot go and see if I can try and rekindle the past. And all is not quite what it seems. They're thrown into a little bit of a conspiracy, and the actor goes missing. Tom Ryder's missing. What's going to happen? Rah-rah. Well, you're going to have to see the film to find out what does happen. So this is directed by David Leitch, who most recently did Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. David Leitch is a stuntman through and through. He used to double for Brad Pitt on a lot of films, as well as Matt Damon on a lot of the Bourne films. So there's a little bit of a history there in regards to stunts. It seems like the perfect match, really, for a film where an ex-stuntie gets to direct a film about stunties, which is very, very cool. So this was filmed all around Sydney. You can certainly see that because the Opera House is featured a lot, as is the Harbour Bridge. There's a whole action sequence that happens in front of both of these particular things and on the Harbour Bridge. Gosling looks great. He loves playing these kind of washed up characters, a little bit displaced. He's really funny in this film. He's a funny bloke, Ryan Gosling. He just has that natural charisma, and he really pumps it hard in this one, as well as the Iron, because he looks pretty amazing. Emily Blunt is a lovely foil against him, and the two have some really sparky moments on screen. There is a lot of good, fun, witty banter. The plot involving Aaron Taylor-Johnson, if you could call that, doesn't really get cooking until about halfway through the film, where I'm pretty sure the scriptwriter Drew Pearce, who was the scriptwriter on this, went, oh geez, that's right, we can't just rely on some chemistry between our two main leads to just get this film through, and some great stunts. So yeah, this is quite an interesting one. So as I mentioned, this is based on the 1980s TV show that went for about 5 years, and between the years of, I think it was 1980 to 86, starring Lee Majors, where he basically played a stunt guy, and then in his spare time was a bounty hunter. So, you know, I grew up watching The Fall Guy and, you know, a lot of other TV shows that were produced by the same producer, that producer being Glen Larson. So he did things such as The Fall Guy, Magnum P.I., Knight Rider, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. So he was the go-to for, you know, creating these amazing TV shows that were, you know, verging on family friendly, not being overly violent, kind of having really easy and fun storylines, and very episodic. And, you know, they just were the cornerstone of 1980s American television that just seeped into Australia, you know, you know, and there's some lovely nods to that TV show in this. I won't give too many spoilers, but, you know, things like the truck that people have an affiliation with. I think it's the GMC truck, the sort of the pickup truck that was so big as part of the TV show, gets featured here, which is really cool. That there's a little nod to the $6 million man, with some bionic sounds thrown into the mix, which was also one of Glen Larson's TV shows that also starred Lee Majors. So there's some lovely little nods to things in here. This is very much a film that is a love letter to the 80s and to stunties. A little bit like John Wick was, to the point of saying, we do some cool stunts, we're going to really showcase it. And we're going to put a storyline behind it, but really it's going to be about the stunts. And this is too, and it also is about having these two leads that have so much charisma up on the screen that they're going to do something around that. So that's kind of what this film feels like. It kind of feels like a vehicle for nostalgia. It feels like a vehicle for showing what happens behind the scenes on films, a love letter to the film industry, and an opportunity for Ryan Gosling and Emily Stone to share some really fun chemistry on the screen. So, that being said, I think there has a lot to be said for the script that Drew Pearce has penned here, because it just feels very, very messy. And is it the script or is it the editing? Because there is some terrible editing in this film. Really, really poor. We jump from scene to scene. We cross the line a couple of times, which if you know about the film, if you've studied film, you'll know that's a really big no-no. It kind of discombobulates the viewer about, oh, hang on, weren't we just over there a moment ago? And why are we now talking to this character in the other way? That happens a couple of times. There's some really bad continuity errors. There's a few. Ironically, a film that's about making films has actually been put together not too well. So it's quite an ironic piece of work. In saying that, though, there are some great set pieces in here, and all the time the tongue is firmly implanted in the cheek. Aaron Taylor Johnson has a really fun time as this obnoxious star of these big screen films. He's really quite great. You've got Winston Duke in here as well, who's really good. There's some really good people in this film. And Teresa Palmer, the Australian actress, is in this playing this American agent who's really obnoxious, and she does it very well. There's some great American stereotypes in there. The huge drink, the massive sunglasses, the huge American smile. It's all in there. It's very stereotypical. So it's almost like everyone wants to take the piss out of Americans in this film that is a fully American film shot in Australia. It's just so meta, this film. It's crazy. The one thing that Ryan Gosling said about this is that he doesn't really care what anyone thinks, because Steven Spielberg came out of the movie going, I saw your film and I really enjoyed it. So he just reckons, big tick, everyone else can write it off and I don't really care. They're having a great time with this. Ryan Gosling is great. And David Leitch has made a film that is very much saying this is what happens behind the scenes. And it does feel very much, I've been on many a set, and this does feel very much like what happens on film sets, except for maybe some of the interactions between Gosling and Emily Blunt. But look, you can pick this apart, or you could just go in and watch this film. I do feel like it does go for too long. There was a couple of moments where I'm like, can we just hurry up now? Can we just get to the plot and just get into it and, keep having a good time? It did sort of lag a little bit, and some scenes didn't make a huge amount of sense. But again, popcorn, ice cream, night out with your friends or with a partner or whatever, go and see this film. It'll wash over you. You'll laugh. You'll have a great time. You'll walk out with a little bit of a skip in your step. And if you're a fan of the 1980s TV show and want a little bit of a nostalgic trip, that you just look out for all the Easter eggs, because there's lots hanging around in this film, and you will have a good night out as well. So, all in all, I'd give The Fall Guy probably 6.5 out of 10. It's really, for me, it was just the script not doing anything, and just a whole lot of things put together to create something that's kind of enjoyable and will wash over you. So, it's not going to win the awards, but it's really good fun. So, yes, check The Fall Guy out. So, that's it from me for this week. But comment below, let me know, what is your favourite stunty film? Have you got a film that you go, oh, stunts in that are great? Is it The Raid? Is it John Wick? Is it this film? And do you indeed remember The Fall Guy from 1980s? And is it as good or bad as you remember it to be? Because sometimes look back on these things, they're not so good. Comment below, let me know. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for spending time with me in my car. I'll catch you all next time, where I will continue to do my own stunts like this. It's my only one. I'm a one-chick pony, and I'm not even all the way out. Bye.